Today we're going to be looking at all the joinery. So the guy's going to come and have a measure up and give us some recommendations on anything. The big tricky part is this big opening here. There's a couple of options. You do sliding doors, or you do bifolds, or you do a combination of sliding both ways or bifold both ways. And because the space is 4.4 meters, if we did a bifold, you're going to have likely five doors that will fold out. And speaking to other people, it sounds like they end up having a lot of issues down the track long term because of the weight and the hinge point. You've got all this weight that's resting on that piece. So shortly we'll find out from the experts as to really what our best course of action is there. Hopefully we can go the bifolds and it's going to be strong enough. Otherwise we'll have to do like a 4 or 5 stacker slider. If we do a 4 stacker, then it means you're going to have a 1100 pane there, possibly 1200 because you've got all the stacks that will sit proud of each other, whereas the bifold gives you the whole 4.4 meters. So yeah, we'll see how we go.
Hi there, I'm up to day 4 or 5 on this retaining wall. Not full days, but certainly quite a few hours has been sunk into this. So I'm going to make a start on the second half now. The concrete's well and truly hard, so tricky bit I've got to do over here is sort this out. The post isn't going to be exactly center of these two on the 45, which disappoints me some, but hey, you know, you live and you learn. I did try to avoid that and have a post either side, but when I started trying to dig it, it was getting too close to the pipe, so it would have been game over at that point. So I just reverted back to doing one in the center, which the spacings are around 800 is what I was aiming for, so 800 between posts, with the posts being on average between 1200 and a meter down. So you can see with the tops of them currently, the holes are, I started off at least 13, and then once a little bit of stuff went in them, and I've also pulled them up just a smidge so that the concrete went underneath them and gave them a good base. Meaning that you weren't going to get, it's not going to just be sitting on the dirt and try and punch through clay later on. As much as that clay was really hard, it certainly would be a problem if it started failing on me in a few years time. And then this last post here, so there's dirt down the hole, but it's only going to be holding probably 200 mil of dirt back, if that, depending on how I want to do it. It might end up coming up a bit higher, but yeah, that's still at least 500-600 down, so I'm happy enough with that. I might try and get a shovel down there and just clear out the loose stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna tuck on a time lapse and crack on with this piece. Once that's done, it'll be ready for me to chuck some geotextiles down. I'll stick some drain rock in the gap, and also make sure that obviously it slopes away from the corner, and then yeah, backfill it a bit with dirt. So I'm not quite sure exactly how high I'll come up with the drain rock. Bugger. Board's twisting a little bit, so this edge is tight. With this edge I've got about 6 mil, 7 mil gap. I need to do a bit of research just to confirm how much drain rock I want to put in here, or what's needed. Just yeah, I mean, it's the house, all the house water collection, none of that's going to come down here, but it'll just be whatever's in this area on top here will try and soak down to here. So you know, you're still talking a few tens of square meters of water that would be trying to come against this wall. Yeah, so I'm gonna get cracking on with that. I'm excited to see how this wall's gonna finish off. I'll also use it to possibly mount stuff too, but future projects. Just in the process of sorting out these bottom boards, I've got to rip them down to make them sit in the gaps. It'll also be, the level will come up under here anyway, so this level will come up to say there, which will cover these, but I wanted to put them in while I backfill and put drain rock in there. So that's the plan anyway. Couple screws will sort him. So trying to cut this or scribe this little piece off here, and I've found this is the most effective way with the gear I have. Just make sure that you use an old table that you don't care about, because I've definitely created a couple of holes and cuts in it that weren't there before today. So I'll cut this up. Let's see here. Cutting this piece here off. About there. Pretty close. Close enough for me at least. Anyway, thank you for watching.